Looking at the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen a massive push in digitalization. Many experts speak of a digital transformation, which has now been pushed even further due to the great advancements in artificial intelligence. Considering this, what have been the main challenges in your own professional context?
Uh, my main challenge personally was that not even during the pandemic, I think we managed to handle all the issues easily during the pandemic. But what happened after the pandemic, that there were many students in every group I taught that were expecting that from now on I will always teach in a hybrid mode. So it means that some students are physically present and the others are attending via Zoom. And they are expecting to get the similar, let's say, service, which is really tricky if they by themselves don't contribute. So essentially, I need to teach two classes in parallel, this is quite tricky, but there is no way. We have to provide this opportunity. We have to be ready. We have to redesign our activities so that online participants can be also engaged.
Looking back, what was one of the most innovative solutions you came across?
Quite surprisingly, technologically, I personally didn't see any major leaps forward to the future. Because already before, I've been teaching mostly in the blended mode, so it means that all my courses are designed for blended mode. We have reduced 4 or 5 times the face-to-face teaching lessons and increased the asynchronous independent learning part that takes place online. So it was relatively easy to swap to fully online mode, having this synchronous shorter parts and asynchronous parts. But technologically, I would say that all this that happened afterwards, let's say with ChatGPT, this is technologically much more radical innovation than everything that happened during the COVID pandemic.
On an institutional level, what kind of general infrastructure or strategies were provided by your university?
Actually, I was invited by the former rector to lead the group, the task force group that developed our university strategy for digital education. And this was quite educational experience for me because we collected lots of input from and best practices from different faculties and departments and tried to analyze it and come up with proposals for next steps. Unfortunately, soon after that, the new rectorate was elected, and they had another vision. So they didn't want to have too many separate strategies, only the one single strategy for longer period. And in this new strategy, this digital education is not anymore so visible prominently. So I wouldn't say that we have any detailed and explicit digital education strategy in our university right now.
According to you, how do you think can virtual and physical settings be connected more successfully in teacher education?
Oh yes, they can. And there are many options for that. So my personal favorite is flipped classroom. So it means that I ask my students to prepare themselves to read some papers and get new knowledge on their own independently prior to our synchronous meeting part. and then we can spend this synchronous learning activities to some brainstorming, design activities, collaboration, some creative projects. But what is cool that the technology that is needed there on both for asynchronous part and synchronous part is not so novel in itself. It's not maybe so spectacular like ChatGPT and artificial intelligence and some robots moving around on wheels for telepresence. But I think that the impact to learning might be even bigger in this relatively low-tech or old-tech contexts and situations.
Some teacher educators are still critical of digitalization. What would you like to tell them?
I think education, in essence, is a relatively conservative domain in society. So I would see this kind of anti-digital educators as something that it's probably even needed, because sometimes the innovators might carry us away from really important things in education for the sake of some digital gadgets being presented in a novel way. So I'd say that healthy and constructive criticism towards uses of new technology has its place in education, but it would be really pity if all professors would share this mindset. So I think that we need both sides. We need very innovative educators who are experimenting with new technologies, and then we need also others who have a critical look and ask some painful questions that what's the purpose of it, what's the educational gain from it, this new technology.
Universities in particular are highly complex systems that need a long time to change and adapt in terms of teaching, research, and administration. If you think about 5 years from now, what do you think is most important to successfully support the digital transformation in teacher education?
I have big hopes towards wider adoption of evidence-based assessment using technologically relatively simple tools like e-portfolios and some online platforms for evidence gathering. From the fancier side, more innovative side, I hope that in 5 years learning analytics will gain more ground in teacher education as well, and also using simple video tools like you can do amazing things in reflecting your experiences using your smartphone and sharing it with others and collaborating around these digital artifacts, or creating some interactive learning resources to study the impact of your novel teaching approach using this data that this interaction actually is able to collect from learners' digital footprints. So these are the main things, but what comes for this really big hype now, the artificial intelligence in the form of ChatGPT, the OpenAI service, I think this rather will cause major fallback to more traditional pedagogies and more traditional assessment forms. So already now I'm seeing the signs of panic among educators. who try to return to ancient and maybe not so effective assessment methods based on memorization that cannot be faked by using artificial intelligence. But it could also trigger something completely new. So I'm really excited to look forward what this big data, artificial intelligence, and simple yet very powerful digital communication tools and content creation tools could bring along in teacher education. Exciting times.